Okay, so before you go, David, or before, because I mean, you're certainly welcome to stick around.
I am
When you
there.
were at our conference, you teased something, and then we saw it, so we can finally address it now. So I saw Irie announce, congratulations on that. What's happening there?
Thank
Can
you.
you give us a BMC update?
I'm trying to think what my lawyer would tell me to say right now. So
Well,
here's
think back to whatever you're allowed to say, because we certainly don't want you
no,
to
but
get.
so we have a quarterly report that's about to go to shareholders.
Okay.
So as a
So you can speak
SEC
from the
regulated
quarterly
entity,
for certainly. Yeah.
yeah. So as a SEC regulated entity, I have to be extra cautious. There are things if I say them and they haven't been then communicated within 24 hours to the market, to our shareholders, I would need to I'd have to file with SEC, put out a release and make sure everybody
Yeah.
gets it. So I'll share what I've already shared with everybody. We
Yes.
reserved our ticker symbol on NASDAQ. It's IRI. That doesn't guarantee that we're going to list on NASDAQ, right? We have to be clear. Reserving a ticker symbol does not guarantee that you're going to list, doesn't guarantee that you've applied to list. What I can say is that we have some filings going into the SEC this quarter. Two important filings, one related to a debt offering, one related to an equity offering. And we have a test in the waters that's live for both of them right now. So people can pledge $10 a share, $100 minimum investment. We needed to get to 300 round lot shareholders and 5 million US in stockholders' equity to qualify to list on NASDAQ. I've been very public about that. We talked about that on Bloomberg. We have now passed the 300 round lot shareholders, so that box is checked. And we
Congratulations.
have a term sheet for the 5 plus more. So we are wrapping all of that up over the next cross fingers by the end of this month. And then we have a filing that we have to make with SEC. We have to file within 14 days of money hitting the bank account each time. So we have some money just came in, I have to make a filing. Some money is coming in again, I have to make another filing. So we are going to be very transparent. The one thing we have not announced yet publicly that we're about to announce, I can say it here, is that we have a Jamaican vehicle, Mahoe Capital Appreciation Limited, is planning to direct list or list by introduction in Jamaica. So we're doing a fund that looks like QWI Investments. It owns discounted shares in Mahoe Capital Inc. here before we go list. So we 25% discount to the shares. So we treat it like friends and family. And we also have some of the equities we own in Jamaica since 2020 and 2021. So we're going to have to publicly reveal some of the portfolio soon. Is an actively managed fund is how we treat in that one. So I think Portland JSX is a public vehicle that gives you access to Portland Private Equity Caribbean Fund 2. Mahoe Capital Appreciation Limited is the first vehicle we list in Jamaica. So you don't have to wait for NASDAQ to get access to what we're doing. We will announce a second one. We announced it on November 6th, actually, in the US. I'll probably bust it in Jamaica sooner. We're going to be doing a US property fund listed in Jamaica. So we've been approached by some pension funds down there, pull some capital, invest in US real estate, and that's dividend paying, cash flowing. And we want to list that in Jamaica as well. So that's a second fund that we will list down there. And then we have a deal that will be announced very soon, a private equity deal in Jamaica that I'm going through the fit and proper status right now with FSC. And then we have a press release that is ready. It is so ready to go once we get regulatory approval on that one. So I'm really excited about doing something that's a little disruptive in the Caribbean around that. So we're excited for that deal in particular. And then we'll go from there. We're going to be making some buys on the market over the next few weeks. And then we'll have ideally November 6th is a coming up party with a big announcement about some stakes that we've taken in very specific companies. And obviously I see somebody saying, what's up with KLE and Bessa Resort? That's why I say, when are you listed on the JSC? I love that. We don't control when we list, but we need to get to 100. It's kind of weird in Jamaica. So you need 100 shareholders and we need at least 100,000 Jamaican in assets to list on the main market. It's actually really easy to list on the main market. So we pool some assets. We have like 5.5 million Jamaican worth of equities that I moved from my portfolio into that vehicle, and we will hit the 100 people this month and then list it, right? It's not that complicated to get 100 people together. So we can move as quickly as FSC allows us to move. That's the answer for when we will list on the JSC. In terms of KLE and Bessa, I love that, right? Bessa Yeah, right. So Bessa obviously is the most important thing. KLE has 49% of Usain Bolt's tracks and records as well. And I was very vocal that when we bought into KLE, it really was about a few things. One, I wanted a board seat. And then secondly, we wanted to help tracks and records expand in the United States and actually franchise like it was supposed to franchise out there. So we continue to look at opportunities here in the United States. We do have 4 people interested in franchising on the east coast of the US. Everybody can guess which cities. We are looking at one property here that we think they would want to build a flagship one first in the US, and other franchisees can come and look at it. But we still need to make some decisions about what exactly is the market we want to compete for. Right? Is Traction Records, is you saying both Traction Records going to be a sports bar, or is it more of a family-friendly restaurant, which is Bahama Breeze and Margaritaville? It's two actually different markets, or is there a way to merge those markets? So that final decision has not been made as yet. So I'm kind of just waiting, and I keep looking at properties and stay in touch with the people who want to buy a franchise for Usain Bolt Traction Records. And especially with the success of the Juicy Patties franchises, there are a lot more people interested in our Caribbean franchise, especially in Jamaica. So that's a good thing for all of us. I wish I could buy Juicy stock, to be honest, but that doesn't exist. We need to push them to go on list, guys. In terms of Bessa, which is the biggest thing, Bessa management is 100% owned by KLE Group, which then manages the property. So this is 14 villas, 72 apartments. The majority of everything has been sold out. I have spent a lot of time there, and I'm really excited. I've been told that they will start having bookings come sometime in late November. It will be opening time for this winter tourist season. So we will have people staying at Bessa. We're planning some events there, and I'm really excited to showcase this Jamaican property that is fairly unique. I literally spoke to a realtor today. She had a client buy 2 villas cash, 750,000 US each at Bessa. Right, that's around the price for the villas. And I was saying to her, I was like, if you had enough money to make a down payment on a villa and were confident you could get a mortgage for the villa, so you know the price is 750K, what would you buy instead in Jamaica if it's not going to be a primary residency, not putting it on Airbnb, or you can't put Best on Airbnb, it's a managed property, but you want access to the beach and you want to use it every now and then. And she came back to me and she said, honestly, Silver Sands is the only other thing that's comparable to Best in her opinion. And I love that a realtor with multiple years of experience could say it really is a differentiated property. So I'm really excited about finally getting people to spend time, like actually spend the night at Bessa, not just come and release some sea turtles, but come and spend some time at Bessa. And I actually will be working from Bessa. We already spend a lot of time there. I intend to spend 7 days actually doing remote work from Bessa every day. I want to stream from there and get people to see why I love this place so much. And the cool thing that a lot of people are not paying attention, right? We have the Ian Fleming International Airport, which has 1 daily flight from Miami on American Airlines. Starting, I believe, November 4th, is going to be twice daily flights landing at Ian Fleming. It takes you exactly 2 minutes from that airport to get to Bessa. And there are a lot of people who have been staying at the Sandals nearby, and they have been inquiring about nights, right? So a lot of people that were staying right there, St. Mary all the way out to Ocherius, are very interested in Bessa and have been inquiring about nights. So I'm excited about it.
Well, David, just like when at our conference just a few months ago, you gave me more than I thought I was gonna get in terms of insights and context. I appreciate it. Um, well, congratulations and everything. I look forward to the announcements when they come. I look forward to that investment vehicle. I think what I'd love to see in terms of at the start of this year, I was one of those persons who are very excited about the potential outlook for the market. I mean, we're in October, so clearly the year has not gone the way that we've expected, and I mean a lot of things went into that. But I think
a lot
more the more opportunities for investment we have, the more diversity of opportunities we have on the market, the more it's easier for persons to invest, then the more we can recover before even even the economy recovers. So I am still here because I still believe in investing in the JSE. Will say though I have had serious thoughts about switching our channel to the US market because there's so much happening over there.
We should
But
do both. Why you can't do both?
yeah, no. So I mean, so right now the challenge I have is two sons, right?
No,
So
Jesus.
we have a
No, no.
6 month old.
That's why you must have a co-host, right? You can swap out.
I've asked a few. So Chike, who did your first interview on our channel, if you remember years ago,
Yes,
Chike
yes.
stood on this platform at the last Stocks to Watch and said, Jermaine, I'm going to do more content. I haven't heard from Chike since.
I go message him and call him too. He keeps
Yeah,
wanting to play tennis with me. I think you'll be a great person. I'm always happy to guest host whenever you need something. I have 3 kids, so I get it. You know, that
yeah,
family time is really important. What I would want to leave everybody with, and I see Kirk saying thanks for the communication. Yeah, I
yeah,
believe in being as transparent as I'm allowed to be. I think it's really important. The most important thing I feel that we're going to bring to the market is not the differentiated opportunities. It's not this additional knowledge of thinking about investing in our way and value investing in particular and learning about these companies. It's going to be governance. That's actually the biggest problem we have with a lot of the companies down there. And when I think about KLE, for example, they know we've talked about it. It has not been run properly as a public company. Governance needs to change. So the biggest thing that I'm going to focus on when we invest in these companies and we move into the top 10 in some cases is going to be pushing for governance and treating these minority shareholders with the respect that they deserve. I think too many Jamaican companies have learned from the bad examples of some American companies where they're issuing stock, they're diluting people, they're not sharing information and disclosures to the market, but they're telling their friend or they're putting out releases. You need to treat your shareholders with respect. When somebody gives you money to buy into the company, they are now a part owner of the business with you. Show them some respect, even if it's only 1 share. You have to treat them with respect, in my opinion. And when you treat that person and their dollar with respect, guess what? They will end up giving you more dollars later on. We need to have better governance on the JSE.
yes. I think everybody agrees. So thank you so much again, David. Appreciate it. We will talk about Grow Your Wealth 2026 very soon, I'm sure. But thank you so
I am
much. Yeah.
shocked I haven't seen that. And literally, I was like, how come they don't send me a proposal yet?
No,
If they find
no. So
somebody else?
we're going back to our roots a little bit. Doing so. Our first ever conference was virtual. It was online. It was kind of bringing the community together. So we're hosting that in November, and
Okay.
then we're gonna be sending out because I mean I think we have a system in place. I think we did great in terms of execution for this year, so we don't need to start as early. But you'll hear from us certainly before the end of the year. So we
That's
have
all I need. Hey, we are ready and waiting for everybody on this who didn't come to learn, grow, and invest earlier this year. Is one of the best events. When I think of all the stuff I've attended, right? I worked at a hedge fund, I worked in private equity, a member of a family office association. So I attend a lot of events since 2002 across the US, Canada, Jamaica, Barbados, Cayman, Bahamas. This was one of the best ones I've ever been to, period. In terms of the organization, in terms of the content, in quality of content, the speakers, the ability to interact with people, you need to make sure you show up when they do another one in person. I'll be honest, I was that impressed in terms of dealing with the team from L.E.A.R.N, Grow, and Invest as well. Any little headache I had or comment, well, the logo, this, they sorted out everything. It wasn't any complaint or pushback. We pushed each other to do things better. And I felt that it was done at first world levels. So guys, you have to rate what Jermaine and the team has done, what they're building, and we need to support more of this because this is not a Jamaican brand as far as I'm concerned. It's a global brand that happened to have started in Jamaica. And it's covering the Jamaican market, but it can expand beyond that. So this is homegrown. We need to support it as much as possible. So hats off to what you're doing. Keep doing it. You know how to get to me. Any sort of help you need, man. Just don't think that I'm too busy to talk to you. Trust me. We need to support people like you.
I appreciate it. I give so thanks for the kudos. I give it to Renee. It's her baby. She
Yeah, man.
executed it flawlessly. So Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, David.
Anytime.
And you gave me more than I hoped for. I reached out to you 40 minutes ago. You're like, send me the link, and you're here. So I appreciate it, David. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
man. Anytime. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, Jermaine. Big up the viewers.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.